Hello and welcome back to Wellness Your Way. This week I want to talk about women's empowerment and health, not as a buzzword or a campaign slogan, but as something very practical and very personal. For many women, health has been shaped by years of external advice, conflicting messages, being told what they should do or feel, rather than being supported to understand their own bodies. Empowerment and health isn't about doing more, being stricter, or chasing the latest trend. It's about understanding choices and trust, learning to listen to the body and make decisions that genuinely support well-being your way. Many women, we kind of grow up learning to override our bodies. We're encouraged either internally or externally to push through tiredness, ignore stress, normalize pain, dismiss symptoms such as it's just hormones, I'm just busy, or it's just part of being a woman. And over time, this can create a deep disconnect. Hunger cues get ignored. Fatigue becomes kind of background noise. Emotional stress is minimized. And eventually the body feels unpredictable or untrustworthy. And there's even times where your body can fight with your mind and not be aligned. True empowerment begins when women are supported to reconnect with their body's signals, whether that be hunger, energy, mood, stress, and the thing that we possibly do least at all, which is rest. Rather than constantly overriding these signals, we listen to them. And listening to the body is not weakness, it's information. These days, women are surrounded by health information. Diet rules, exercise plans, hormone advice, wellness trend, expert opinions. I mean, social media certainly reinforces this, but it's everywhere you look, it's everywhere you see. But having so much information alone does not equal empowerment. And empowerment comes from understanding why something works, how this applies to your life, and having the confidence to adapt it rather than blindly follow things. And this is especially important during life stages such as pregnancy, postnatal recovery, perimenopause, menopause. And it's these moments where generic advice often fails to account for stress, sleep, emotional overload, and individual physiology. Empowerment means having the permission to ask, does this actually support me right now? One of the most overlooked aspects of women's health is the nervous system. Many women live in a near constant state of push through, juggling responsibilities, emotional labour, and expectations, all while running on adrenaline and cortisol. And when the nervous system is under chronic stress, it affects hormones, digestion, immune function, sleep, and emotional regulation. And this can show up in things like anxiety, low mood, brain fog, irritability, or exhaustion. Empowerment doesn't come from doing more. It often comes from learning how to slow down, regulate stress, and create safety in the body. Empowered health choices around food and movement should be flexible, not rigid. And it's really important to recognize that our nutritional needs change across life stages, stress level, and seasons. They allow for variation rather than perfection. Empowerment is also about knowing that rest can be just as valuable as exercise, that consistency matters more than intensity. For many women, empowerment is unlearning the idea that health requires constant discipline. Instead, it becomes about responsiveness, adjusting to what you need in that moment. It's also about reclaiming agency, feeling confident to ask questions, seek second opinions, to say something does not feel right, and trust that instinct. It means recognizing that lived experience matters alongside clinical guidance. An important part of this conversation is also recognizing that many of the changes women experience, particularly in midlife, can be hard for people around them to understand. Hormonal shifts during perimenopause and menopause don't always look dramatic from the outside, but they can profoundly affect energy, mood, sleep, confidence, and emotional regulation. And these changes are often invisible, unpredictable, and poorly explained. And for those women with men in their life, this can be really confusing, and with children in their life. Because with the men, they may notice their partner just seems more different, more tired, more reactive, less interested, shall we say, or simply less like her old self. And they don't understand what's actually happening in her body. And while many men are often trying to help, but without any context, they may interpret these changes as emotional, personal, or relational rather than the physiological side of things. And this can create misunderstanding, frustration, and distance on both sides. What's often missing is shared language, the common understanding that it's a transition, not a failure, or something to be fixed. This is something I explore a little bit more deeply in The Silent Shift, which is something I wrote to help partners understand what women are experiencing beneath the surface and how to support them rather than find solutions. And this can make meaningful difference. Feel free to jump on my website. It's available there as a free download. Empowerment in women's health, it doesn't happen in isolation because it's strengthened when the people around the woman are informed and are able to walk alongside them through change. Women's empowerment in health is not about control or perfection. It begins with small, consistent acts, listening to energy levels, eating regularly, choosing movement that supports rather than depletes, recognizing and responding to those stress signals earlier, and really importantly, letting go of comparison. Each one of these small choices builds trust between a woman and her body. And over time, that trust becomes confidence. And confidence changes how health decisions are made. It's about partnership with the body